Hello guys! That's faster than I imagined. 16 watches already. That's a good start. So, the third streamer's time. Let's start with the region. Yeah, of course everyone is hoping for Rome, but you guys have to wait some time because that one will take so much time to make. So we start with a relative easy region. So we're now in the world map of Italy, and here we can, yes, there we are. Let's put open Blender already, and then the region map. So let's travel to the first region. And we also see here the loading screen P has made a time ago, and it already shows a bit of what this region will be about. And then we have to wait, of course, for my computer. It's not always the fastest one. And there we are. The first Roman region. Basically a Roman camp. And what we see here is the basic overlay with some specific buildings and some new things. Some maybe already be a bit familiar and some may be totally new to you. The first thing that's completely new, of course, is all these little tents. And of course the battle camp can be nothing without its tents. The second thing is this large tent in the middle. And it's one of the tents out of many. We'll make a few of these ones, which represent the basic strategic tent, but also some medical tents or armory tents, which are needed to support the entire camp. What you also see here are some of the small decorations made by Chaos some time ago, like all these little flowers, the woodlock in the middle, the foxtails over here, we have one there, 3 over here, some yellow flowers, and the trees which are in the making. Not completely done, but we're getting there. And in the top we have the Roman shield made by P again, which represent one of the greatest legions of Rome, under the lead of Caesar as far as I know, but that's something completely beside. I'm not a guy which is completely into historical accuracy. We also see here some of the units we already pronounced. They look a bit weird, but that's just due to the settings we have. We use settings for the shields and for the helmets to test them, but when we change it, basically all units get the same gear. So here we see the gear of the Centurions we see over there. And here 2 Centurions watching at the maps on strategic tent. So the tent is in the making, or at least the camp is in the making, and we see here some wood chopped to make the great wall around the camp. We also see here something partly new. I already pronounced it or showed you something about a few months ago, and it's the incorporation of bridges. And when it seemed like working bridges, they still are. We can show it to you. You can basically walk over them, but they are nothing more than pieces of decoration. They are just overlays above cliffs, and that's basically all of it. But they give a great sense of identity to cliffs and to water parts. So ships cannot pass through them, not underneath them, they just are blocked by the cliff itself. There are no new units over here, so I can't spoil you any new units. But of course they will follow in the next blocks after the Halloween event, which is now, partly done. We're almost there. Just some small tweaks are needed to make it even better than what it is now. I can't tell you more about it because I simply don't know more about it. I'm not part of the Halloween event, simply because I'm very busy with university, but also still very busy with making the Romans. So what we have here is the region, and there's something we miss. And what is it? basically when we think about Roman regions, we think of these fantastic, great rectangular camps with tents in the middle, the big officer tent in the middle, but also the things that make the borders of the camp. So not only the walls, but also the halls around it, and particularly the big watchtowers, which close off, or at least which are placed around the gates of the camp. So that's the part we're going to make today. We're going to make one of these big watchtowers. And of course we already have the small ones, like these ones, but also basically lookout towers, and not a watchtower. So over here I have the 3D model of the castellum, and this one is perfectly to make a watchtower out. So you're basically going to follow the same approach of the walls, with a big rock foundation and then wooden parts to make it up. And then of course the roof, but the roof is something up for discussion, because simply the roof is not that easy. That's not out of modeling, but out of references. There are a lot of references for these towers, and it's simply a matter of taste how it will look like. So let's start with it, and I'm gonna put out the texture and also put in the grid and copy this building so we have a safe one in the back. And then it's just a matter of getting rid of a lot of parts we are not going to need, like the roof shape, but also the columns, simply because we will not use columns in this structure. And also not a roof tent, so all these parts over there can be deleted easily, and we only need the back part and some of the logs, and also some of these parts which have a slightly different texture than the wood logs. Let's move them over there, and also some sheets, some shields, why not? So do we need more? For now, let's see. Basically not, I guess. Yeah, maybe some decorations in the end, but that's not that important for now. A bucket, why not? Let's copy that one as well. There we are. Yes, and again over there. And more, yeah, what do we have here? A small helmet, but also a sword. So it can always be useful to just accentuate some of the corners of the building. But then we're basically there to make the camp. That's it. Oh, we also have this one, a spear. Let's copy that as well. And then we should have everything to start making this building. Let's delete the other parts and let's start. Okay. Then the base. It's a very easy building. Rectangular. Not that many round parts, like in the last stream of the shop. But also not a lot of decoration, so very easy building. So when we look at the walls, we're gonna follow the same approach of the base, some strong supports on the sides, and then fill in the middle. I see we don't have the sign, but that will also be implemented later on. So then the first model part. Straight up these, yeah, these things are, we made them by purpose, not straight, but for now they will be internal, so they may be straight. And then this may be mirrored overall. Like this, and then let's put on the texture again to show you a bit how it will look like. It will take some time to render, but here we are. Then this part maybe a bit like this. And there we have the start of it. Also make a small gate, always needed to go in. And fill it in. Yeah, that one looks a bit weird now, but that's part of the UV map. Let's fix it directly if I can. Yes, get the split screen right. So UV editor, and there we are. So here we see the 2D layout of the Castellan parts. And when we select these parts, we see that they are mist formed. Oh. So let's see what we can make out of them. There we go. Also a little bit smaller over there. Make 3 segments is better. See if we can line it out with the others. Where are these ones taken? And put them basically in the same spot. So that means they have to be there. Let me know in the chat if there are new guys in, because then I will show you again a small part of the region to just look back on it, to not dive completely into the building, and while everyone is waiting for the region again. So there we go. Yes. Still not that perfect. See where it goes wrong. This will do it. It will not be not that visible inside it. So then the side ones, the side parts. And now it will be just some imagination how to make this one. Not that big. Way longer, but not the top like that. And let's see how we're gonna make this. I have a few ideas, and it only depends on what looks nice. Make this one a bit smaller. This one a bit like that. Let's look again to the region to see where we want to place them and how big we want to make them. So this one will be over there, one over there, and of course 2 on each of the gates. So they basically will have this a little bit more height than the towers. So that means around, yeah, 1 side to 3 in height. That will be a good proportion. So let's measure it out. And see how high we will make this one. So this will be it. Then scale 3 times. And this will be basically how high we're going to make this one. And that's pretty high, so we need a higher border. Else it will be way too much. And this will do it. And this one will be the reference of it. Okay. then we're gonna basically build it up. And what I already had in mind was this technique used by a lot of log houses, which is basically an interlocking of vertical, at least horizontal logs placed in a grid of 90 degrees. So let's start with that. And let's place the first one over there like this, and one there. Rotate 90 degrees. Oh, what do we have here? Okay. No idea what that was. And over there. Then of course a little bit higher, so they will line out well. Like this. Then we need the gate, else people cannot go in. And like there. Yeah, that will do it. And one over there. So that will be the foundation part of the tower. Command.com, no idea what you're referring to. I'm not that technical, I'm just basically only designing parts. And when it becomes technical, I only know the basics, but most of the time I just text or caf or p and they'll basically fix it all. At least that's what I hope all the time. And most of the time it works. And I'm very glad with that. And when I need references, I just ask Andy and he will know everything what needs to be done or how to make it accurate. So over there. Maybe the first thing we're going to do is make the fence on the top, because that's a relatively easy thing. Just place that one over there. Like that. And also this one. And make the back parts of it. And also through there. Like that. So that's the basic layout of the construction of the fence. And let's take a look again at the region for the people who just joined in. No idea how many people just joined in, but else I'm gonna dive too deep into the design. So again, these trees are the basics. It's like a cypress tree, but yeah, we are happy about how the shape looks like, but not directly about the texture, especially about the dark parts of it. When you compare it with these oak ones, the maple ones, you see what I mean about the black spots, which are way too intense. And what do we have? Again, something new. Yeah, of course, these little flowers, very special for Italian environments, the well-known poppies. And we will basically throw them everywhere where we have massive green spots, like here, and they will give very fast a very summery idea about the environment. A lot of grass, and of course the tents within the middle of the strategic tent with the Assyrians and Centurions around it. Yeah, I will ask Andy to explain a bit more about the shield. But he had an entire idea about it and the historical accuracy, but that's not my part. No idea if Andy will join in, but he will explain later. So let's go to the tower again and let's fill the corners, or at least fill the fences. So we're going to copy all of these and move them in place. That's the wrong axis, that's the wrong axis, this one. Yes, oh. Like that. Less high. And again. That will do it, yep. Okay. That's it. And then fill it till the end. Oh. Like that. And then one extra more. Let's take this one. Come on. And then we have it. Okay. Then we need the back spot. Just a support on the front like this. When it's wide like this, that's basically because it doesn't have the alpha assigned. You can see it in the sheets as well. All these white spots, same as this one, will color blue or red depending on the player stats. And that's something coded and not something in the texture itself. But they're really important. And that was one of the first things we had to figure out when we started with designing buildings and units, because we had no idea where in the code that was hidden. And it took us a lot of time, but in the end Cliff helped us out and made a great script for us, which just did all of it for us without any bugs or problems. And that's working amazing. Just changing 2 lines in the code and something will get a metal shining or a gold look, whatever we want. Also transparency like nets in the fishing boats. Yeah, it's great what you can do with just 2 lines of code. So now it's time to copy the fence and all around the building. Line this out a bit because it's not really in the center. Oh, I missed one thing. There we are. Let's see if they all line out again. Not for 100%. A little bit back. That will do the work. And now fill in the gaps I forgot. Like that. I need them over there as well. Let's do it with the small one. Yes. And one over there. Let's use this one. Do we want shields on this fence? Let me know in the comments. No idea what you think about it, how you want to decorate this. But first let's do the roof. When I have a reaction we can test it. So let me know. Since it's not a play-wise building, we can basically test everything we want and make it a great piece on its own. So the roof, let's make it slimmer. Place it in the corner. I guess I will go for a more rectangular sloped roof. So it will mean I need 4 corners and then fill it in. Start with the supports and then the middle parts. No idea. Why? Okay. What you can always see when we start doing this, we make way more detailed buildings, and that's basically because the game can handle it. Else all these fences will be made out of one straight surface, and then with the texture it would be partly detailed. Oh. So I'm very glad with these change of stats, and sometimes when you see older models like the Greek ones, you can really see why these models are not that detailed. When you look at faces, or when you look, for example, at shields, for example, or the small buildings like the barrack, you can really see how low poly they are. And low poly means how many dots a model has. That will do it, I guess. Now, so make it a bit, yep. 40 degrees will do it. Also on the Z-axis. And there we go. Whoop. Ah, that angle is way too much. Way too much. Minus 45. I think this will do it. Way better. Oh, where did you go? There. And let's place it there. And let's use the rotation tool again. Okay, Shift D. Well, not that easy. We work with a second. Yeah, how do you call those things? Where you type on simply those things. And when they are hidden underneath the support of your laptop. So basically you have no idea where I type. And in Blender, when you hit the wrong key, you basically delete everything that you have selected. Not always that handy, but it's fixable. Like that. There we go again. So we see it's not particularly lining out. So we need to do them by hand. Like this. And like that. Yes, and then we're gonna look for the middle. Like there. So here is a basic shape. Let's fill in the roof. And how am I going to do it? Vertical or horizontal? I guess they were doing it vertical. Because when you do it horizontally, you get water problems and leakings. And when you do it vertically, it would be way easier to fill the seams. Let's start with one of them. And stretch it out again a bit. Oh. There we go. I'm going to place them underneath the overall support. So that means we don't need to make them perfectly lined out. You basically only need to do what you see and not always make them as detailed as you want. Because if you do it, it will take so many of these dots and it will make the building extremely long, or take it extremely long to load. So there we go. We're first going to do it as a basic triangle, and then we're going to add the slope. That's the next one. I guess we need one more after this one. And then we can add the slope in it. Yes, so we need one more. And then it's filled. Let's only select these parts, not parts of your model. Yes, and there we go. Then you over there. Oh, what are you doing there? There you go. And oh, let's do it a bit different. Can we get you back in place? Yes, there we go. And move you all up. You as well. No. You as well. This will do it. Okay. And then select all of these one. Okay, so what's the best angle to it? This one. Okay. And then we're going to rotate it as one object. Medial point. Rotate. And there we go. Do we have all of them selected? No, we have. Oh. There we go. That's the angle we need. Something like that. Move you back a bit. Move you also over there. Make them straight again. These ones as well. And these ones up. First this one. There we go. And you as well. And I have here one which is not moved at all. Now he is. Let's see if we can fill it in now. If it works. That's working okay. But I want to stick out above the rectangular baseboard. So big chance we need to move them down a bit. These locks, where is? There you are, and there you are. Down so the roots stick out. Oh, this is something we need to fix later. Again, there is no capping on these locks. So let's select all these parts over here. See if we can fix it very easily. Should be. That's also something to just spare verticals. Parts you can't see, you basically delete. So we need to select all these verticals of the fence faces of the. Oh, come on. This is always annoying. There we go. And Shift D, rotate set 90 degrees. And put the first one in place, and the rest will be done at the end of the stream, because this is something not that great to watch. There we are. Okay. So the roof is in. Let's add the side one, the other side of the roof, and then copy paste it to all the sides of the roof. This one was expected, but that's okay. And yep, this one, and move it up a bit like this. And does it fit it in right? Let's see. Yes, there we are. So now it's a matter of copying it to all the sides. Rotate Z axis. Oh, and we missed one as well. Come on, there you are. And put you in place again, like this. Oh. Come on. Where are you? There you are. Really need to find another way to work on this while having my iPad in front of me to see if you guys type something in chat. But I see the chat is not that chatty today. And of course, there's also something new for you guys, for me as well, to do streams about making buildings. I guess you all used the streams about PvP, which are way more exciting to watch. But with all these kind of streams, you like to enjoy you with how and what it will take to make Romans and make buildings and units, etc. Because every time that you play games, we are working on releasing new types and making new animations. So for the animations, we have the help of fellas. Not that chatty in the general chat, so not like me, Andy or P, which is basically can talk all the time when they are online. And the overall, text him and he will bomb you with all his knowledge about Romans. And we see it all the time. Case and I come up with stupid, in our eyes fancy, nice ideas. And then Andy comes in and bombs all our ideas because they're basically way too stupid and way out of context. And sometimes this gives us very funny combinations where we are allowed to add some stupid things and some parts where we need to delete them. And I guess we will show you some of them in the next units, because we are now moving towards the last offices and some hidden units which you don't know, of course. And what we're looking for in the officers is something unique. So where the legionnaire or the spearman are just basic units, not that iconic, we want to have the officers something special. So the identity. So what we have now, we have the centurion and decurion, and they are basically the badass guys. The guys at the camp you don't want to have against you, which is let you do push-ups and run miles and miles to just enjoy them, and where they hate everyone around in the camp. And then we have two other officers, which I'm not gonna spoil the name of, which are a bit different. Not special, in the way you can see the word special, but have another kind of identity. Can be lame, can be even more badass, can be strong, can be more boss type. Everything is still open, but we have ideas about them. But every new idea needs strong animations. And since Phil is also back on school, he will not go that fast as he went before with fixing Legion animations or making new animations for non-pronounced units. Yeah, that's a bit sad, or at least a bit sad for me. I can't spoil you any other units we have which are special for this civilization. they will really make a difference between playing with the Romans and playing with any other type of civilization. And the officers is just one part of it. We already showed you the siege units, which are completely different than other siege units, way more powerful and way more decorated than the ones you're used to. So we're getting there for the tower. We only need some crossbars and some sub-levels. So first at the sub-levels, and then after the stream I'm gonna fix all these small gaps which are not filled, but it's horrible to look at and not that great to talk about, because they can be fixed very easily, but it's just one of those jobs you every time regret you didn't do before. And let's go for a 3-span. Yes, there we go. Then the crossbars. And then of course we're gonna put in some shields, some arrows, and some other decoration. At least what we have as decoration. Most of it is inside other models, like the officer tent, but also the strategic tent has a lot of funny decorations, like the maps and all the gold support, like chains, which are just basically not accurate to use to build tents, but they look great and they look more officer-like. Okay. Yeah, let's do the other ones as well. Let's see how it looks. Now if we will go for just one diagonal for each surface. And there we go, and one at the bottom. Because I will not do it for all surfaces. But it doesn't look that bad. Guess I will give it a second review when it's done, because I guess it can be a bit better than what it is now. It looks a little bit off when I see it now. But it was the same as in the store stream. When the stream was done, we had a review of it, and we did the entire roof. We redid the entire roof because we were not completely happy with how that part worked together with the overall shape. And it can be the same with all these supports, but that doesn't look bad at all. Let's add the other sides as well. And then we're going to add some shields, see what that will do. 180 degrees. Nope. Hidden type pad as well. There we go. Okay. And there we go. Now we need to make the ladder, but first we're going to test some shields. I'll make this one a little bit smaller. It's a bit too much out there. Yes, there we go. Okay. So, shield time, decoration time. So we're going to place 2, as always, in front of the gates. To mark the entrance. There we go. And also some spears there. But first these ones, and also on the top Let's see how many we will add there. Here I also see something. When I will redo this part, these bars needs to be over there, so they line out better than what they do now. And that's not part of, let's see, here it's also part of these ones. They need to be there. Maybe we can fix that now. Now we see it. You as well. Like this, and then like that. There as well. And yeah, that will do it. Okay. So shield time again, and add them also on this side and also on the others. And then we are almost there. Just some spears, and then only the ladder. And is it that bad, Greek? 5 frames a second, that's horrible. Don't hope so. So there we go. Whoopa. Oh, and don't be afraid of these things. That's part of Blender and will be fixed in the retopology of the tower. Maybe it's even a bit too high, the tower. Maybe we need to stop it a bit lower. But I will test it when I'm done with it. Also, I guess these ones need to be colored. So need to be like these bars. And also the roof needs to stick out a bit more. So these ones are like over there, instead of on the corner. So now add some spears and then do the ladder. And then I will spend another day or another time of this day to just run through the entire building again and fix it where needed. Because sometimes when you're designing you need to take a step back, and then a moment later you have the idea to how to make it better. Because now again the proportions are a bit out, but that's always the case when you make buildings and units. For example, the offices took us a few times to remodel, because every time we thought we were always there, but once you look at it again, import it in the game or change a part of the texture, you always need to change a small part, like giving it more muscles on the arms or redoing part of the head because it's too bulky. So there we go, and only the ladder. Oh, and that's also an error. We need to have planks in there. So these sub-levels needs to have a kind of level, because now it doesn't have one. Let's make a square out of these ones. How many do we need? I guess 3 of them will do it. Yes. Scale x-axis. Like that. And scale on the x-axis. and a bit. Well, let's do it, I guess. Delete these ones. And there we go. Move you in place. And move you up over there. Smaller and between the logs. Is it too much? What do we see now? Okay, only a bit higher, a bit lower, and higher. The spot in the middle. Like this. There we go. Move you in again. There we go. Almost there. Yes, and then you go in there, and you will be, and then move it. Rotate it 90 degrees so they can climb part by part. There we go. Yeah, this part on the top is too small. Roof needs to stick out more, and these levels also need to be a little bit less high, especially the middle one. Bit more like this. Yeah. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do is make a stair. And stairs are not that hard to make when we have all these wooden parts. Select one of them. Rotate them. Rotate them 90 degrees. Rotate them 90 degrees again. There we go. Smooth you out. And smooth you out. And there we go. Add a point. Can we add something in between? Oh, that's stupid. That's not. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, but that doesn't matter. And then I want that one. Because it's darker. There we go. And on top. And I want you in between them. So these ones need to be a little bit higher. Like that. There we go. Then then arraying it over. Looks like a train wheels now. Rotate them a bit. So they're not that straight. You as well. Like that. And copy that. Over there. Yes. Now I'm going to do something a bit different. because I was allowed to add more rings. And then you can ask what are rings or loops, but those are one. Let me show you. This, for example, is a loop. When I can select this one. So this is a loop. And I want to add one in the middle of this stair, so we can make the middle a little bit more squeak together, and the top and the ends go further apart. But because we can't, we're going to do it a little bit different, because there's a tool in Blender to do it. Select it, select inverse, and delete everything. And then we're going to move you in place. And then we go to the center, and we're going to add a lattice, this one, and put this to 3. And what this does is just adding a square around it. And when I'm in edit object mode, scale it down so it fits around the stairs. Also in like this, yes. And what I'm going to do then is see what this one is look like. This object, not the lattice, but the stair, and that's 1 1 or 0 0 1. So select 0 0 1, add a modifier and add a lattice. And now when I'm at the lattice and when I modify it, so when I modify the dots of the lattice, where these ones, the model will shape width. I see the other ones do not follow that well. And that is still part of how many surfaces or dots this one has. So that means you have to add them, sadly. Now I'm doing it. I want to fix it. Let's move it to a spot. Do not overlap. Again, 0.1. And cut it. Almost. Cut these sides again. And also, where are you? Let's do it in 2 times. And then connect you again. Okay. So now I'm adding in loop manually to make it more adjustable to the lattice. Oh, why don't you do it? This one and this one. There you are. Okay. And move you back by minus 0.2. Okay. And now we're going to modify this one again. And it should be better. Make it a bit out of proportions on one side, so it's a waggy trap. This will be okay. And then apply the modifier and delete the lattice. rotate. See where we need to place it. A little bit smaller. Is it inside the gap? Not. A bit to the side. A bit more. Like there. Move you up. Rotate. 18. This one. Oh, that's it. Medial point. Edit mode. Okay. No. How do I want this one to react? Like that. Yes. Move it in place. And then the last one. And then we're going to add a floor to the top again. And then we're going to count polygons to see how far we went today. Rotate Z-axis. No. Hey, that was not the idea. There we go. And add the gap in the right place. There we go. And there it is. The first draft of the tower. See if we can make a nice end render out of it before we stop the stream. We need to add a light. Add light. Sun will do it. Rotate it. Rotate. And rotate it there as well. Where are your sun settings? Oh, there. Strength to 3. Strength to 3, I said. And add a second sun. And I know that sounds weird, but when doing renders, you basically don't put in one sun or one light object. Oh, come on. Why aren't you like this? Because sun always deflects. And when you don't have a surrounding, you have to do it manually. So you have to add a second sun with a much lower strength value. There. To manually give it a better render from the side. To to basically, don't know the word for it now, to manipulate sun rays and deflections. So there we go. Let's see how it looks now. Yes, there we go. It looks weird because of these things. That's always the case. And that's part of the import, because I imported this building from the game. And when you import it, it always does some weird things to the normals. And normals are the direction of every face. So we have to see it later on in the game to know which one to rotate. we calculate outside to understand which ones behave weird. You can see that these ones are fixed now, but the ones below here act weird. So there we are. Let's take a last look at the region and when they will be, where these ones will be put. Of course, it needs to reshape because the roof is not perfectly in shape. Also, this part needs to be a little bit moved to the sides. So it starts there, moves up. Same here, a bit more inwards and then going up. And these cross parts, it needs not the cross parts, but the horizontal ones, I want them to be the same like these ones, so you get more color when it's in game. Yeah, and for the roof, extend it outwards, so it's larger than what it is now. Now it fits perfectly on top of these ones. I want to have it stick out. So there the building is. Let's take a look at the region again, and they will be placed in place of these towers. So it means the proportions don't only need to be a bit more outwards, but it's also very tall, maybe a bit too tall if you compare it to the castellum. So what that means is I need to redo some parts of it so it's not that high. Maybe we can do that now as well to give you a small insight of how we tweak these ones. So basically you select all of the surfaces you want to move down. That was not smart to do. Let's move the stairs out. Let's go back. Yes. This one. So what you do is you're going to move the roof down like that. This one as well. A bit lower. And there maybe two. Bit lower. Already looks better now, in my opinion. And for the roof, see if I can do it as well to give you a small insight of how that will be done. Move it up by 1. Move these things down by 1, -1. And then we can select this one freely. -1 and oh, and shape it a bit so it starts to extend, not too much. Still want to have this one sticking out. There we go, already better. Bit higher like this, and then the last thing we do is scale these ones in the z-axis to let them stick out a bit more. There we go. And this was the draft of the tower, and I will later on fix all these normals, add them to the game, and show you guys what the result is of this stream. So the last walkthrough to the region is not possible because it's outdated, the server. And I'm not gonna wait for the reload because my PC, especially when I play this game, is so extremely slow. That's not great to watch. It takes me about 5 minutes to load a world map, and then I'm in the capital, and then I need to load 5 minutes again to go into the Italian region, and that's not something I have to wait on. So let's end it over here. I wish you good luck and see you in the next stream. Hopefully, or maybe you will get some extra info about the Halloween event. If you don't, good luck with it, because I've seen some parts and to my opinion it's looking astonishing. Some very great things, some new things, new buildings, new units, new settings. So much darker themes than last year, and way more Halloween than just adding some pumpkins or adding some zombies or whatever, or mummies. Way more than that. So good luck to those guys who are making it, and let's see if you like it as much as I do. Goodbye guys!